Right now at 6, an investigation is underway after an apparent attack at a West Salem Quick Trip. And early voting is officially underway in Wisconsin.
Watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski. An investigation is underway after a reported throat slashing at a West Salem convenience store last night. According to police, just before 8 p.m., officers responded to a Quick Trip on Jefferson Street for a report of a man whose throat had been cut. The victim was taken to the hospital and later released. Police say the suspect fled in a red semi-truck with a trailer. Investigators believe both men were truck drivers with no connection to each other or the area. Anyone with information should contact Detective Sergeant Ganrud at the number right there on your screen. Adam Fravel's murder trial wraps its fourth day today. A Fillmore County investigator and the property owner where Madeline Kingsbury's body was found have taken the stand. Investigator Don Dornick found Madeline Kingsbury's body in June 2023 on 198th Street near Choice, Minnesota. The property owner says he paid Fravel's father to mow the grass there. Dornick said the sound of flies led him to find Kingsbury under a pile of logs and vegetation in a nearby ditch. The state presented several images from the crime scene and surrounding areas. Fravel's attorneys, meanwhile, argue that law enforcement should have found Kingsbury while searching the area in April of 23. A Wisconsin man is federally indicted in connection with an international sex trafficking ring. 71-year-old James Jacobson of Rice Lake is one of 3 people arrested today. The others, former Abercrombie CEO Mike Jeffries and his partner Matthew Smith. According to the indictment, they allegedly lured men from across the globe to perform sex acts for the promise of modeling opportunities. Jacobson allegedly served as a middleman who recruited the men. He's due in federal court in St. Paul. One person is dead after a crash Monday in Jackson County. According to the sheriff's office, a car rear-ended a large grain truck on State Highway 108, pinning the driver and passenger inside. The driver was pronounced dead on scene. The passenger was airlifted to the hospital. Names are withheld at this time, and the crash is still under investigation.
Well, we had the cooler temperatures today, but still well above average. We had a little bit of precipitation for the morning for some areas south. We're talking about like 100th or 200ths, but we do have a cold front that'll be approaching tonight, later this evening, and it will bring another chance for light showers, mainly north and east of Eau Claire. Right now, we're just seeing a little bit of activity approach Rusk County, very little further south. Temperatures still very comfortable, mild, upper 60s to low 70s. As we kind of zoom out big picture wise, the front is just to the west. That really will come through overnight, and the biggest thing with that will probably be wind shift and cooler temps for tomorrow, along with the system to the south. So if we kind of time out the shower activity up to the north, and really this is only where it's going to be at, is generally north of Eau Claire. We might see a few showers come through that area between about 9 to about 11 p.m. at night. Very light amounts of precipitation with this if we receive anything at all. Otherwise, as we look at the temperatures here for La Crosse, getting back down to still 62. We'll see cloud cover down here, unlikely to see any precipitation, but notice the winds beginning to turn around to the northwest and getting a little breezy later tonight too. Same story for Eau Claire, but that shower chances between about 8 to 11 and very light amounts. It'd probably be enough to wet the ground, and that's about it. But notice the winds too turning around. So the bigger story tonight is the winds getting breezy conditions once the front comes through. We'll break down what the temperature look like tomorrow, and then the precipitation chances, which is even better, coming up Thursday night a bit later.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, Craig. Wisconsin early voting is now underway. Unlike Election Day, where you must vote at your assigned precinct, early voters can cast their ballot at any designated polling location within the city. La Crosse has 5 of them. If you can't make it today, 3 additional polling locations open tomorrow. Early voting continues through Friday, November 1st. Remember to bring your photo ID. Over in Eau Claire, a drive-through voting center is going to be open at City Hall from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. The site also offers voter registration. Drivers should enter from Wisconsin Street off Farwell Street. Dewey Street will be down to one way during the drive-through voting hours. And Republicans and Democrats alike are urging Wisconsinites to embrace early voting. Republican Congressman Derek Van Orden met with supporters across the street from Sparta's City Hall today. He and some fellow congressmen encouraged them to vote early. One Indiana congressman told them friends don't let friends vote alone, and that 3rd District voters should do whatever it takes to send Van Orden back to Congress. The former Navy SEAL Van Orden says most voters may not have served in the military, but voting is their chance to serve.
Now is your chance to serve your country. Now is your chance to get in the breach. You must do it.
Van Orden added, if you don't vote, you don't get to have a gripe. So make a plan and get your vote in. Former President Barack Obama is in the Badger State today, campaigning with vice presidential candidate Tim Walz, looking to gain support for Kamala Harris. The pair are in the capital city, encouraging Democratic voters to hit the polls early in the battleground state, where Biden only won by 20,000 votes back in 2020.
If you haven't voted yet, I won't be offended if you just walk out right now. Go vote.
This thing's close. We're still the underdogs in this, and we know we're going to leave it all on the field. Wisconsin, you got same-day voter registration, and it's open today.
After this stop in Madison, Walz is headed to Racine, where he's expected to take the stage in about 40 minutes. Senator Tammy Baldwin is meeting with cranberry growers in Jackson County today as her People Power campaign tour continues. The Democratic senator is visiting a Black River Falls marsh and research facility. While talking with local growers about farming issues, Baldwin emphasized the importance of these community visits.
You know, when you show up, you listen, you hear concerns and challenges, and then you go back to Washington and fight like hell to bring solutions. I think people notice that, and I think it goes above partisanship.
Baldwin's visit is the same location where Representative Van Orden visited less than a week ago. Universities of Wisconsin President Jay Rothman discussed the impacts of the next budget request at UW-La Crosse today. One of the main focuses for this year's budget request is the completion of UWL's Prairie Springs Science Building. Phase 2 of that project has been on hold since 2021. Rothman says with nearly 40% of UWL graduates moving into STEM or healthcare fields, the construction of that new science center is essential.
Prairie Springs is #1 in terms of our major capital projects. I remain very hopeful that Prairie Springs can be done. It's necessary, it's important to UW-La Crosse, but it's important to the state as a whole.
The budget request also hopes to increase middle-class family access to Wisconsin's Tuition Promise program and to bring an AI hub into the UW system. Members of the Green and Gold visiting the Challenge Academy at Fort McCoy. More on the event at the Alternative School after the break.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and like most folks in Wisconsin, I'm somewhere in the middle.
Oh, please. Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. She made her living trying to elect Democrat extremists. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. No wonder extremists like AOC are spending big bucks to elect liberals like Cook. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When I walked into these old buildings 35 years ago, I never imagined it would look like this. I never imagined we'd serve 12,000 homeowners. I never imagined I'd celebrate my 80th birthday here, and I never imagined that my then 10-year-old daughter would become the new general manager. But here we are, solid as a rock, carrying on a tradition of exceptional quality and service.
Celebrate our 35 years with your savings on new windows and doors, bathroom or kitchen, siding, sunroom or deck.
A flood of illegals, skyrocketing prices, global chaos, and Kamala wouldn't change a thing.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Nothing will change with Kamala. More weakness, more war, more welfare for illegals, and even more taxes. Only President Trump cut middle-class taxes, and only President Trump will do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
The most important value at Schwebel Getz & Sieben is our commitment to our clients.
My team at Schwebel Getz & Sieben was incredibly responsive. Anytime I had a concern, I would have an answer almost immediately, and often those answers provided great comfort. That allowed me to take care of myself, take care of my son, and put my life back together again.
You need an experienced attorney on your side. Schwebel Getz & Sieben. Call or visit schwebel.com.
Liberal Rebecca Cook. She's cooked up quite a story about herself. The truth? Cook is a slick political operative who pocketed almost $200 grand electing Democrat extremists. Cook supported radicals pushing open borders, defunding police, and ending cash bail. No wonder New York radical AOC is spending big money to elect phonies like Cook. Rebecca Cook. A liberal recipe for disaster. Strategic Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Some Green Bay Packers are at Fort McCoy visiting the Wisconsin Challenge Academy. The Academy is a 22.5-week program for 16 to 18-year-old kids who are having difficulties graduating high school. Packers including Ellis Merriweather and Cornelius Johnson made the trip today to shake some hands, sign autographs, and answer cadet questions. One player says it's inspiring to attend this event.
I got the opportunity to do it last year, and you know, I was just kind of inspired by these young cadets, and I just felt like it was mandatory for me to come and do it again when the opportunity presented itself.
Every player also received a challenge medal today. The La Crosse Dahl Family YMCA is hosting its 3rd annual Y Giving Day. The 36-hour event raises funds for 10 different programs in the La Crosse community. Last year, the Y raised almost $200,000, beating an initial goal of $140K. This year, they hope to reach the $200,000 mark. Cancer survivorship, veterans' mental health, and food access programs are some of the projects included in this year's Giving Day.
Our projects cover all of our social responsibility areas within the Y, so you can really find an interest for yourself of what to support on this day.
And you can find more info about the projects involved in this year's fundraiser on the Y's website. We'll have some links on our platforms. Honda recalling 720,000 vehicles. More on the faulty pumps that could pose a fire hazard in just a few minutes.
We're looking at more typical fall-like conditions for the rest of the work week. That means 50s are coming back, and we do actually have some decent rain chances in the forecast finally. I'll break all that down coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
My husband and I were elated to find out that we would be having another baby. But after many tests, my doctors agreed that we had to terminate the pregnancy. It was the worst day of my life. You should know that Eric Hubge supports laws that stop me and my doctor from making that decision. And that's a ban with no exceptions in cases of rape or incest. It's a ban that could turn doctors into criminals. He opposes abortion, period.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Pivot! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up. Okay, hold on. I don't think it's gonna pivot anymore.
Guys, just like pivoting from cooling to heating season, it's a difficult adjustment.
Pivot into winter, called GNT.
Pivot! Shut up.
Called GNT.
For the best heating and air conditioning, guaranteed.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Transform your space with Shaw Vinyl Plank Flooring. It's waterproof, durable, and features an attached pad for added comfort. Manor Hill Vinyl Plank Flooring is $2.99 a square foot after rebate. You need reliable appliances to help you conquer the day. Menards has the largest in-stock appliance selection, ready to take home today. Save over $1,000 on this Maytag laundry pair after sale price and 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
It's Ford SUV season in the Northland. Time for great offers across the entire lineup, including Ford Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. Get ready for the coming season with weather-ready features that make life easier, like heated seating, a heated steering wheel, and remote start. Amazing offers on your favorite Ford SUVs. This is Ford SUV season. Now lease a new 2024 Ford Bronco Sport for just $309 a month for 36 months. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
As a working mom, I'm feeling the pain of inflation. Everything costs more these days because of Biden and Kamala's wasteful spending. And while we pay more, they're giving away our hard-earned money to illegal immigrants. Tammy Baldwin is just as bad. Baldwin voted to give amnesty and taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. She even gave them government stimulus checks and free health care. We can't afford Tammy Baldwin and her handouts to illegal immigrants.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Well, some Honda drivers will need to have their cars inspected. The automaker announcing a recall of roughly 720,000 of its vehicles due to potentially defective fuel pumps. Honda says the pumps could leak and pose a potential fire hazard. So far, there are no reports of accidents or injuries related to the issue. Among the cars included in this recall, 2023 and 24 Accords and Accord hybrids, as well as the 2025 Civic sedan and sedan hybrids. 2023 through 25 CR-V hybrids are also making the list. Affected vehicle owners will be contacted by mail in December. Honda dealers will provide free inspections and a free replacement of the fuel pump if it is needed. Well, on a walk with the dogs today, it felt like another summer day, but some fall temperatures look to be headed our way. Let's get the latest from Greg.
Yeah, we're definitely going to return to more like typical October type weather, although we're not going to really be that far below average, actually at average then coming up. We also got some decent rain chances coming up Thursday night for once. Now La Crosse almost, it'll be 31 if we don't get anything until midnight. Days since we've seen measurable rain, and measurable is like 100th. Now a lot of areas have seen some rain over the last 30 days, but most have seen very little. So we're well below average and really could need it. Here's the rain amounts that'll be coming up. Probably for this will be more Thursday night. Better shot as you go further south. I think a lot of areas will see maybe a quarter to a half inch. More chances as you go further south towards south area could pick up a little bit more. This could change, but for right now, it's the best rain opportunity we've had in quite a while, and a more widespread rainfall potentially with this too. So we do have a few showers tonight. Some of those areas north of Eau Claire might see a sprinkle or shower. Most areas will just see the breezy conditions behind the cold front coming through. Much cooler on Wednesday, but we're going back to where we should be. So it's a drop, but nothing below average. And then we look at showers return Thursday night with another system coming through. So we'll have opportunity for there. Now right there, there's a system right there coming through. That's the front that'll be diving south over tonight, bringing those gusty winds and a few sprinkles or showers mainly to the north of the area. Our system we're watching for Thursday is still well off the west coast. That opportunity will come once again Thursday night into early Friday. As we time out the showers tonight, very little probably will reach further south than Eau Claire. Mainly areas south of that all the way to La Crosse and all the way to Prairie du Chien will probably just be some cloud cover. But the big thing also will be the wind shift, and that wind shift will occur later this evening. The winds will be kind of breezy overnight out of that northwest, so you'll start feeling that. For the morning commute, really it's going to be the wind to be the main issue with that gusty winds out of the northwest. Otherwise, we'll see decreasing clouds towards your morning commute, more sun as we go in the afternoon hours. So temperatures mid-50s. In fact, these were kind of our lows a couple nights ago. That's going to be our highs. Low 50s up to the north, maybe upper 50s to the south. That wind will be breezy in the morning, taper off a little bit in the afternoon. Now Thursday, we turn those winds around with that next system, so we'll have kind of breezy conditions out of the south, so the temperatures will get back up into the 60s, so above average, really pleasant conditions. Cloud cover will start increasing late in the day because that next system definitely has more moisture to work with, and as we kind of time that out going into Thursday, most of the day is going to be dry. It's till the later half the evening towards we get to the evening commute. Just after that, you'll see a line of showers and thunderstorms developing. The thunderstorms are possible with this as it comes through. We're going to see that between about 8 to about 11 p.m. Thursday. That line will quickly come through here, and it will probably be dry the rest of the night going into your Friday. But that opportunity for rain looks to be pretty good. Now, we do have some winds ahead of it. That's the one concern we have with going on, is because of the winds ahead of it will keep it dry. So we still have some high fire danger out there, given that the relative humidity before the system gets here will be quite low, and those winds will be kind of gusty ahead of the front. Thursday afternoon, we'll have to keep an eye on the fire danger. It'll probably be elevated, at least in some areas, given the conditions that we are. But the good news is we'll get some of that rain. It'll help, but we definitely could use more. Unfortunately, it may have to wait till the middle of next week when we have another system come through that could bring us better chances of rain. Otherwise, the weekend looks mild, back into the low 60s, and we might actually get back up to the 70s ahead of that next system towards Halloween. So it'll be kind of a chill tomorrow, but it's you know, we've been spoiled because that's where we should be, really.
Right. Yeah, it's felt like summer most of this month.
Yeah, it's going to be back to fall, but we definitely could use that rain come Thursday night. But that's the good news. We'll get some.
Because it's been like 31 days.
It's been very dry. La Crosse Airport's about 3+ inches below average since September 1st.
Quite significant.
So it is. Yep.
All right, Greg. Thanks very much. Coming up next in sports, the T-Wolves look to kick off the new season with a win on the national stage. Plus, with another top 10 matchup on the horizon, hear why Tywee Walker likes the Badgers' chances on Saturday. Jacob is up next.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
From cozy breakfast nooks to formal dining areas, Ashley has versatile dining options that fit any space and style, starting at just $499.99. And receive a $250 mattress credit with the purchase of any 6-piece bedroom set. Only at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
Let's talk about Rebecca Cook. She's a political operative. She's worked for Defund the Police radicals across this country.
Cook spent millions getting Mandela Barnes elected, the most anti-law enforcement candidate in Wisconsin's history.
You remember Barnes, the guy who said reducing prison populations was sexy?
Defund the police radicals make it harder for us to keep you safe.
That's why we can't support Rebecca Cook, because she'll never support us.
Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland, as in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor. Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it,
Wisconsin cheese.
but it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
That really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Racist and offensive. Ryan Hipsch's social media history tells us who he really is. In one post, Hipsch said that he wanted a hat with the N-word embroidered on it. In another, Hipsch aims a rifle and comments that he can't wait to kill Muslims using a slur. Then wrote, LOL, that was racist. And that's just the beginning. Hipsch's social media posts are full of degrading terms for women and people with disabilities. Tell Ryan Hipsch that his agenda is too extreme for the Cooley region.
Let nothing stand between you and the tree stand with this great offer on the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick. Featuring a gas-powered engine that delivers a top speed of 40 miles per hour, outstanding acceleration and handling with cargo, and a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty.
Gear up this hunting season with Johnson Tractor and get 0% APR for 54 months or up to a $2,000 cash rebate on select Kubota Sidekick RTVs. Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships in Menominee, Baldwin, Osseo, and Arcadia.
Looking for a better night's sleep? Ashley Sleep offers 3 different mattress lines for every body, from soft, cloud-like comfort to firm next-level support. Or wake up on the bright side of the bed with a Nectar mattress starting at $7.99. Now available at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
Well, after losses of 32 and 17 points in weeks 3 and 4, many Badger fans for the football side did not know what to expect for the rest of this season. But Wisconsin has answered the bell, ripping off 3 wins in a row. And this week's matchup will be a great barometer to see where the team is as UW hosts number 3 in the country, Penn State. Running back Tywee Walker, who has 418 yards during the win streak, says he cannot wait for the challenge.
Big opportunity for us facing a great team like this, especially that they're undefeated. But they have to come in here to Camp Randall on the road, facing a team that's been doing great, that's been on the road, winning 3 big games back to back to back. And they have to come in this environment and watch our fans jump around and feel like it's going to be definitely a great game.
And for more with Tywee Walker and News 3000 sports director Zach Hanley, tune into the Wisconsin Huddle on Friday right here on News 8 beginning at 6:30. And the NBA returns this evening. Just 2 games on tap for tonight, one of those being the Timberwolves traveling to the City of Angels to take on the Lakers. Minnesota is coming off a 56-26 regular season in the 2023-24 campaign. And while tonight will showcase a new look T-Wolves squad with the loss of Cat, in addition of Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, many also anticipate LeBron and Bronny James becoming the first father-son duo to play together in a regular season NBA game. Tip-off for that one set for 9 p.m. And the Bucks tip off their season tomorrow as they're on the road getting a chance to take on the 76ers. Milwaukee finished with a 49-33 regular season record a season ago, then fell to the Pacers in the first round. The Bucks will face off with a Philly squad who's without Joel Embiid and Paul George. For Milwaukee, Chris Middleton will not be available as he's rehabbing offseason ankle surgeries, but head coach Doc Rivers says not to be too concerned.
Yeah, I would say this week it became more expected. I thought before this week there's a pretty good chance he may make it because he's moving great, but we just haven't had enough live activity for him. I would say if this was a playoff game, he'd probably be playing or close to it.
Now, Middleton played in 55 games last year, averaging just over 15 points per game, along with 4.7 rebounds and 5.3 assists per game. So Middleton is such a key cog in that piece and that puzzle for the Bucks. So I'm excited to see how this year goes with them.
Absolutely, and a full offseason with Doc Rivers as the coach, with Dame. Expectations are going to be high.
Yeah, it's going to be a good season.
All right, thank you, Jacob. We'll be right back after this.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we've helped hunters gear up for the season for over 6 decades. So as you prep for this year's hunt, shop unbeatable deals on supplies to make your trip successful. Like 10 packs of Grabber hand warmers, just $5.99. Hit the road and save $1.50 a gallon on splash antifreeze. For working dogs, large bags of Victor dog food are $5 off. And keep cabins warm with Easy Heat fuel pellets, just $4.99. Gear up for the hunt and save at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Politics these days stinks. Too much hot air, and you know what else. But I'm no stranger to putting in a hard day's work and getting the job done. I have a history of bipartisan accomplishments. It's a hard job, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. I can reach across the aisle and pass good bills just as easily as I can walk across the barnyard with my shovel. So whether it's doing chores on the farm or passing bills in Madison, I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm ready to get back to work for you.
Manufacturers selling baby food with high levels of toxic heavy metals.
Foods and cereals marketed to children contain a weed-killing chemical that some health authorities link to cancer.
Exposed to chemicals and additives that have been banned in other countries.
Half the tap water contains forever chemicals.
Enough is enough. President Trump and I are going to stop the mass poisoning of American children. We're going to make America healthy again.
Maha Alliance is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
Well, it definitely will feel more like Halloween tomorrow with the 50s, kind of some sunshine in the afternoon, breezy in the morning. We definitely have a good shot of rain coming Thursday night. Otherwise, the weekend overall still looks pretty good with rain coming more by Halloween.
And by sundown on Friday, that's going to feel like epic playoff football weather. Thanks for joining us tonight at 6. We'll see you again at 10.